Metro Bowl 89 is coming up out at Lowe Stadium a week from tonight. Benefiting the Park and Recreation Department, it's great semi-pro football, Fort Worth versus Dallas, USWA wrestling, Emerald City with music, sponsored in part by KZEW. And I got really a neat guy, a guy who represents some very special moments in the life of sports in the Metroplex, Mr. Tom Frankhauser, who in the very first game of the Dallas Cowboys ran back that opening kickoff and got the arrow started. Welcome to the Sportatorium. Relive that moment a little bit for us, Tom.
Well, I've been asked many times what was going through my mind when the ball was in the air, and they said, Tom, the ball's in the air and you're about to become what is America's team and the first player to touch the ball. What's going through your mind? And I said, well, I hope they're going to kick it to Billy Butler. I didn't necessarily want to be the first to touch it, but on that occasion I was, and it was a great experience.
And it earned you the right to be on wrestling many years later here on Saturday night. All right, now compare a little bit the style of the kind of football that we're going to see next Saturday night versus what you experienced firsthand.
Well, I've seen the Bengals play both New Orleans and Houston, who are ranked #1 and #2, and they've beaten both of them. And it's very good football. They hit hard, and maybe compare them to Dallas Cowboys, they probably tackle better.
Now, what?
Dallas. Everybody talks about Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys, the Emerald City Band, whoever they are, they're from Dallas. I'm really sick of this. I wish people would just learn about Fort Worth and know that Fort Worth is gonna kick the butts of the Dallas Bengals, and it's gonna be an exciting game. But Fort Worth is a team to remember. Fort Worth Renegades.
Now wait a minute, guys.
Let's talk about Dallas and Fort Worth. You know, you guys have harassed us ever since you came into the league. We're the new guys. Y'all been here for years now, right? Last week at the Sportatorium, we had to have security guards, man, come and split us up sometimes. Man, that's not necessary. You guys have said you're going to beat us back before the season started. Let me tell you something. One thing you didn't know at the time, New Orleans, the #1 team in the nation, came and played us. We beat them. Houston, the #2 team in the nation, came and played us. We beat them. We beat them. And let me tell you something. Now you know what you guys got to do? Y'all got to come and see the speed limit. The speed limit. Speed limit. 55 and under, man. 55. That's it. You got to play against the #1 defense in the nation right now. And you guys are #1 too, man. #1 in ugly uniform.
All right. We'll settle this at Lowe Stadium next Saturday night. Let's check out the Rock and Roll Express right now, soon to be with USWA, and more on the Metro Bowl coming up.
I ain't the worst that you've seen. Can't you see what I mean?
look forward to them moving in with the USWA very soon. You've heard about Metro Bowl. You've heard about last night. Now Chris and Tony Adams are with me, so let's talk about these important elements. Chris?
Well, Metro Bowl speaks for itself, and next Saturday all you folks will have a chance to get there. But let's get down to some serious business right now with Tojo Yamamoto and PY Chu Hi. Now, for those of you that were here last night, you saw this very kendo stick hung on a pole nearly to the top there near the light. Kerry and myself were against Bulba and PY Chu Hi, and the first person within the tag match to climb up the pole and grab this kendo stick got to use it. Well, what do you think happened? Actually, I was the one. I crawled up, I got the kendo stick, and when I turned round to come off on PY Chu Hi's head, unfortunately, he was right there and he cut me off. But thanks to Toni, thanks to Toni, after certain things happened and PY Chu Hi was holding me, Kerry and Bulba were off to the side. And PY Chu Hi was holding me while Tojo Yamamoto was whacking the heck out of me with this very kendo stick. After I kicked him, he let the kendo stick fall. Toni crept up behind him, grabbed the kendo stick, walked up behind him, and nailed him right at the top of the head. And I loved it. And you fans loved it. And I wish you were here to see it. So, in a minute, Toni, I'm going to present you with a new gift that I want you to keep around forever and ever. And it's the kendo stick of Tojo Yamamoto. But just one more thing. Next Friday night, I don't want you here. I don't want you by ringside. No, you can look like that. But I don't want Tojo Yamamoto here either. I want PY Chu Hi and myself to be alone, locked inside a cage, which is going to be around this very ring. I don't want any interference.
Everyone barred from ringside.
Everybody barred from ringside. However, Toni, just in case, I would like to present you with this kendo stick, and maybe, possibly, you'll be hanging around in the building somewhere just in case something happens.
Well, you know I will, Chris. That's a promise.
All right, thanks, guys.
Every woman. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna promise everybody in front of me and everybody and millions of viewers that if PY Chu Hi and Tojo Yamamoto do anything, that you'll be right there with this stick?
I can promise you that. I can promise all you viewers out there that's watching this television program, there's one thing I can't stand, and that's a chauvinistic pig that thinks he can push a woman around by his weight. And I promise you, the next time that I see PY Chu Hi or Tojo Yamamoto, I'm gonna whack his head off!
All right. Yes, indeed, it happened last night. We'll look forward to the weeks ahead, and we'll look forward to what's coming up in a moment.
On the card. Flamboyant Erich, Embry, Percy, Pringle will be there. Matt Moore and Jimmy Jack Funk, they're all on the card. Sponsored in part by the Abilene News Reporter, benefiting the Goodfellow Society. Tickets on sale right now at the box office are from any member of the Air Force Sergeants Association. Call 676-6211 for information. That's Abilene, Texas, Thursday, September 21st, 7:30 is the bell time. The Abilene Civic Center, Chris Adams, Taurus, Bulba, they'll all be there. Don't you miss it. Be there. Tojo Yamamoto presents at approximately 300 pounds, PY Chu Hi.
All right, we're back at the Sportatorium. Frank, I'm really concerned about the arm of Jimmy Jack Funk. It looked pretty bad there.
Look out beside you.
This is my time. This is my time. You interview me.
Your time.
This is my time. That's right.
Well, all right, let's move around here then if you're going to demand this time. Well, we just heard from Chris and Tony Adams about last night. Is that why you're so upset?
Well, I tell you what, I don't appreciate nothing last night because this crazy 4-eye no-good trash Toni Adams hitting me. I don't appreciate a woman. She called herself a woman. She's a man. She's a nothing but a low four-eye trash. And now she steal my stick, my kendo stick and everything. She should be watching out for her husband, Chris Adams, not me or PY Chu. We are gentlemen. We are respectable wrestlers. You understand? And I tell you what, next Friday, I don't know why they want to put PY Chu in a cage for. PY Chu is a wrestler. He's not an animal. I don't know why they do that. They must respect PY Chu. He's a great time wrestler. Well, just like me, they said that they bar me. I don't know why they want to bar me from the ringside. They can bar, yeah, the four-eye trash, but not me. I'm the honorable imperial manager. And I don't see why they want to bar me from the ring like this. But I tell you what, you no good son of a gun, Chris Adams. Friday night, my PY Chu going to eat you up on a line in the cage because PY will never give you mercy again. PY-san, anda wakaru ne, kurostare endo wakaru, eh, nakade ne, bandai!
Well, bonsai, whatever that means. And here we go with PY Chu Hi now against Mike Stetson.
I think bonsai means uh-oh for Mike Stetson.
Well, you're probably right. The Japanese flag is being rolled up. And I guess we're going to go through the salt ritual. Tojo is reaching into his pocket. While we do that, Frank, you have a very colorful brochure here on the Creative Learning Center that has aroused my curiosity.
Yeah, Mark, the Creative Learning Center, you know, we do a lot of fundraisers and whatnot. The Creative Learning Center is one of the folks that we're going to be working with here in about 6 weeks. They take gifted children from all around the Metroplex area. By gifted children, I mean children with an IQ. But look at here, Chris Adams. Chris Adams has come to the ring. Chu Hi all over Adams. They've hit each other like a house on fire, Mark. They've come together. These two, like two raging bulls, are on top of each other instantly. The feud here is incredible.
Chris in his street clothes and street shoes. Look out, here comes the Punisher.
It's the Punisher, 6'8", 330 pounds. And Mike Stetson trying to come to the aid of Chris Adams was just mauled. And now it's Adams and Chu Hi over 650 pounds. And Chris Adams is being plummeted. Chu Hi sending those thrusts into the rib cage, into the heart, as the big Punisher holds him down. And this could spell the end. Toni Adams sure would be able to help against these two behemoths, Mark.
The Punisher with some sort of leather and metal spikes wrapped around his wrist. Here's Tojo.
No. He's got out of handcuffs and a chain. They're cuffing Adams to the ropes. No.
This is terrible. They're handcuffing him down, and Tojo's right there in the middle of it.
No, Adams left hand, right hand handcuff. They've taken away the punch, and now they're just having their way with Chris Adams. Adams, he's in desperate need of help now. He's in desperate need as they are putting the boots to him. Here comes the modern-day warrior, Kerry, Billy Travis, Matt Bourne. Oh, no, Mark, but the damage has been done. We need to get away from this, Mark. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back with more right after this. Oh, I'm worried about Chris. The beautiful Will Rogers Coliseum, Sunday, October 1st is the bell time. You'll see on the card Billy Joe Travis, Jimmy Jack Funk, flamboyant Erich Embry, Jeff Jarrett, and Maniac Matt Bourne will be there. Al Perez, Chris Adams, Taurus Bulba, the modern-day warrior Kerry Von Erich. General Skandor Akbar brings the Punisher. Tojo Yamamoto brings PY Chu Hi. And the new World Tag Team Champions, Rotten Ron Starr and the Sheik, Scott Braddock. Tickets on sale right now at Central Ticket Agency, 1007 Commerce Street, across from the Tarrant County Convention Center. In Dallas, for reservations, call 988-7250. In Fort Worth, call 335-9000. And remember, in Fort Worth, tickets are on sale at all Fort Worth area Ticketron outlets, including the Richland Hills Mall, Hewlin Mall, and the Six Flags Mall. For the best of professional wrestling, USWA, Will Rogers Coliseum, Sunday, October 1st. Travis, Von Erich, Bourne, they'll all be there. Get your tickets. Call 988-7250 in Dallas, 335-9000 in Fort Worth. That's Sunday, October 1st, Will Rogers Coliseum. Don't you miss it. Be there.
And we're back at the Sportatorium. Percy Pringle leading flamboyant Erich Embry down the aisle, and we're going to visit about this Friday night's big world title match where there are special lumberjacks, specially selected lumberjacks, around the ring to keep an eye on Jerry the King Lawler and to keep him in the ring as well. Percy, Erich having a hard time getting through the fans. We'll go ahead and begin with you. Erich, of course, found out the hard way of what an impressive individual this Punisher is with Devastation Incorporated.
Mark, I've been managing professional wrestlers for 12 years. I've managed 34 professional wrestlers in that time, 2 world heavyweight champions, and the championships go on and on. But never, Mark, have I seen anything like I saw last night in this ring with this Punisher. Akbar, I don't know where you got this man from. This is the most astonishing thing I've seen come out of your raghead stable since Kamala. This man is unbelievable.
You know, Percy, I don't want to interrupt you, and I'm sorry. But hey, Akbar, Punisher, let me tell you a little bit of something about the Punisher, Mark. Because it was me that was in the ring against you last night, man. And you're by far the strongest, most, you're the biggest, but man, you're by far the strongest guy I've ever faced in my life, man. You know, Mark, every time he'd hit me, man, it's like I was getting hit with a sledgehammer. I ain't never been hit so hard in my life. And, you know, after a couple of minutes, you know, it was like I was punch drunk or something. But, you know, I sucked it all in, and I don't know how I did it. But I walked away with the Texas heavyweight title that means more to me than anything in the whole world. But Punisher, hey, I'm saying it from the bottom of the heart, man. I don't know where you get it, but you got it. But I won't back away from you. I'll meet you face to face, toe to toe, anytime you want. I don't know how I can beat you or how I'll whoop you, but I'll get a 2x4, a chair or something, and I'll bring you down. Now, Akbar, I heard you say a little earlier that you're gonna have the Punisher take out all your frustrations and hatred that you have for me on Billy Joe Travis right here today. Well, Akbar, it ain't gonna happen. Listen to him. It ain't gonna happen. Now, Jerry the King Lawler, you said you wouldn't defend it ever again, but now you have to. You know, Mark, I've already heard the interview from Lawler, but I want you to play it now to where my family can hear Lawler talk about him the way he talks about him. It makes me so mad.
Well, let's check out Jerry the King Lawler, then we'll come back to talk more with Erich and Percy about special lumberjacks and more.
You know, I guess I finally figured out exactly what you would like down there, Erich Embry. You'd like for me to take this beautiful belt and put it in a nice little package, tie a little bow on top of it, and just hand it to you. That's what you and all of the rest of the officials of the USWA think I should do. I guess that's what you think I should do. You keep somehow weaseling your way back into title shots for this belt. Well, I got news for you, Erich Embry. I'm not going to hand you this belt, brother. As a matter of fact, you're not going to be able to take this belt away from me if you had a knife in one hand and a gun in the other. Now, I don't know how last week you came out on top in that battle royal, because there were some pretty good names in there. There were guys like Kerry Von Erich, Al Perez, Chris Adams, Jeff Jarrett. There were a lot of decent wrestlers in there. And for you, Erich Embry, to come out as the winner really makes me sort of wonder about the USWA. It makes me sort of wonder about you and this Max Andrews. You know, I looked at that guy, and I'm really not real sure about him. And I've seen you palling around and buddy-buddy with Max Andrews an awful lot lately. And it seems real strange that what Erich Embry wants, Max Andrews somehow makes sure that he gets. You know what I mean, folks? No, you people down there in Dallas, Texas probably don't know what I mean. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. Because like I said before, you people are the product of years and years of inbreeding down there. I had this guy come up to me I told you about and said, Mr. Lawler, I'd like you to meet my wife and my sister. And I looked over and there's only one lady standing there. Now let me tell you people something. Try to get this through those Cro-Magnon foreheads of yours and understand this, you bunch of imbeciles. Erich Embry is not championship material. This belt around the waist of Erich Embry would be so disgraced that nobody else in professional wrestling would ever want to try for it again. Nobody would even want to touch it. Now, Erich Embry, the way I see it, it's up to me and me alone to make sure that you never get this belt around that filthy waist of yours. Because you see, that's exactly what I'm all about. I'm about the World Heavyweight Championship and the pride and the prestige that goes along with it. When a guy like myself walks down the aisle of that dump sportatorium with this belt around my waist, I hold my head up with pride. You saw last week how many people want to be where I'm at. How many of those jerks down there want to have this belt around their waist? And I know, Erich Embry, you're right at the top of the list. Well, like I said, I realize how long and how hard I fought to get a hold of this belt. And to ever think for 1 minute that it'd go around that little pot belly of yours, if I thought that would happen, Erich Embry, believe me, I'd hang my head in shame. I'd never show my face on another television show. I'd never step foot in that sportatorium. I'd never enter Dallas, Texas again, because I'd be too ashamed if some jerk like you beat me. Well, Erich Embry, that's what's on the line this week when I come back to Dallas. The years of pride, the years of prestige, the years of total class that I represent, that's all on the line, because like I said, if you ever beat me, if you ever pin me in that sportatorium ring, then I could never show my face again. But believe me, I will be back and I will be showing my face, because Erich Embry, I've said it before, and through hook or crook, you and Max Andrews have been able to make me not be able to get the job done. But this week, I'm going to leave you flat on your back with blood running down your face and all of those idiot fans of yours out there staring in disbelief. Because you see, this week I'm pulling out all the stops, brother. I'm reaching all the way down in the bottom of my bag of tricks if I have to. I'm doing whatever it takes to make you the loser that all of the rest of you clod-kicking hillbillies in Dallas, Texas are. I told you about your baseball team, I told you about your football team, and now I'm telling you about Erich Embry. You're all losers, and I'm going to be there Friday night to make sure of it.
All right, that's Jerry the Mouth Lawler. Let's talk about Friday and the Special Lumberjack.
Mark, you got it exactly right. You know, I already heard the interview, Jerry the Mouth Lawler, Jerry the Queen Lawler. And Lawler, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying, man. I'm sick and tired of the way you're talking about my family. You understand, Lawler? Now, I've kicked you all over the sportatorium. Evidently, that didn't do any good, because you still badmouth them the way you always have. Well, Lawler, I know how dear that unified world heavyweight title is to you. So what I gotta do to make amends for my family is I gotta take that title off of you, Lawler, and then I gotta give it to my family for them to wear, because they're the true world heavyweight champions. Now, Lawler, you know, there's a little surprise for you. And thank you, Max Andrews and Board of Governors for USWA. Maybe you returned one of the favors that Erich and Percy did by putting you guys in. There's going to be 4 lumberjacks, Lawler, and I chose them. There's going to be Jeff Jarrett. There's going to be Jimmy Jack Funk. There's going to be Billy Joe Travis. And there's going to be Kerry Von Erich. You know what that means, Lawler? That means now you're not going to be able to slip and slide out of the ring. It means you're going to have to face me man to man, face to face, and you know you're not man enough, Lawler. So Friday night, Lawler, I'm going to take the world heavyweight title from you, and I'm going to wear it with the Texas heavyweight title, but I'm going to put the Texas one on top. Now, from the bottom of my heart, people, I asked you once, and you come through for me. I'm going to ask you one more time. I need you, and I need you probably more than I've ever needed you before. I need you Friday night to be here, to back me up, to let me hear you holler, Erich, and let me see, let me know that you're part of my family, and I'm representing you. Because without you, face to face with you, I can't beat Lawler, I can't beat anybody. But with you, I can beat the Punisher, I can beat King Kong, and I can dethrone the World Heavyweight Champion. So come and back me up Friday night, and we'll do it together again, just like we tore down the world-class banners. We'll take the belt from Lawler, you and me.
All right, thanks, guys. You know, we've had so many comments, compliments, requests. We're going to follow up on those as long as you're talking to Erich and give you an encore of this Erich Embry video. And then more wrestling will continue here on Channel 11.
It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you.
Sheik, Braddock, and Starr.
All right, thank you, Frank. Braddock and Starr and Akbar and Yamamoto are here to go against now Clifton and Alex Pourteau. Frank, before we get into this match, we were talking about the Creative Learning Center earlier, and I understand that Tom Landry's wife is involved in this outstanding project.
She certainly is, Mark. It was founded in October of '68 by a lady by the name of Mrs. Bess M. Tittle. It's a nonprofit preschool for kids aged 2 to 6, designed for potentially gifted children from predominantly economically deprived backgrounds. They give the children an opportunity to develop their natural intellects. All the kids have got an IQ of 120 or more. They use what's called the Montessori approach to learning, which is based on a child's biological need to learn those things which propel him or her towards independence from others. It's a great organization. It's strictly nonprofit. They take only 100 or so kids. The teachers, they get a 10-week program and 9 months within the learning the system that they use to teach. They're all aged 2 to 8. They're all exceptional children, and we're just proud to be a part. We're going to be working with them in a big fundraiser coming up at Richardson College Gym here in late October.
Sounds great, Frank. Some
Monster Mash
great
89, as a matter of fact. You'll be hearing more about it.
Good. That sounds great. Run, Starr and Alex Pourteau as Alex slips and slides back toward the corner, but Starr still gets a foot. Akbar and Yamamoto both out here. You never know which individual will represent them, if it's one or the other, Tojo or Akbar or both.
You know, Mark, back in the old days when the Freebirds ruled the old world-class wrestling, The trick was there were 3 of them, and you always wrestled 2, and you never knew which 2. Well, now we've got something very, very similar in that we've got 4 people out here with Braddock and Starr and Akbar and Yamamoto, and you never know what's going to be the combination. Is it going to be Braddock and Starr? Is it going to be Braddock and Starr and Yamamoto and Akbar like we got now? Akbar and Yamamoto and Starr. I mean, you don't know which 3 or which 2 you're going to end up with. It's really quite confusing and hard to prepare for.
What do you want? We've got important things.
Never before in the annals of all of professional wrestling has such an allegiance of great minds and money with Akbar and Yamamoto. Devastation Incorporated is by far, it supersedes anything that professional wrestling has ever had to offer. And right now, Akbar and Yamamoto are in full control.
Frank, are you all right over here?
Yeah, I was talking about a meeting in the mountain. It sounded like a little fender bender to me.
Pourteau has been wrestling over in Louisiana, and he's come back and looks fantastic here on the Sheik. Frank, I was just about to say, with a big wrestling card coming to Abilene on September 21st, I understand that our good friends and great fans of the Abilene Reporter are running a big full-page spread on Kerry with a discount coupon for the wrestling card.
What they're running is a full-page color poster of Kerry Bonner.
Oh, so a collector's deal.
It is a collector's item. It's going to be in the paper. I understand it's going to be in the Monday paper. And, of course, it benefits the Goodfellas Society, which is an organization the newspaper is solidly behind, and all of Abilene is behind, along with the USWA. As Alex Pourteau, whoa! I think he was trying to come up. He thought he was getting himself set for some sort of perhaps a backdrop. Thought he might go for a sunset flip. Instead, he got hooked into that hip toss, and all of a sudden, it all changed.
Here's Akbar again, causing trouble in ringside. Frank having to watch his back. As Sheik Braddock continues on Pourteau, makes the tag for Ron Starr, the team that captured the world belts here last night.
Sorry, I don't trust Akbar behind me. Look at there, a double turnbuckle, and now Starr being catapulted in. Oh, I'll tell you, for 2 guys who've wrestled no more together than these 2 have, they are producing one whale of a team. You know, this Sheik Braddock, Scott Braddock, Corporal Braddock, call him a number of things, but he has come on as one whale of a wrestler. He's always had the body. He's had that $1 million body. It was that 10-cent mind that Matt Boyne referred to, but he has learned how to wrestle. He really and truly has, and Braddock has come on like a house on fire, and Ron Starr is one of those old-timers that you just can't say enough about. He has been around the cup looking for the handle a couple of times. You'll see things from him. You'll see moves from him. You'll see ways to hurt people that you haven't seen since the old days. And Ron Starr, he is a student of the history of professional wrestling.
Here comes Starr bouncing off the ropes, delivering a knee to the head. Boy, Friday night, we have got a loaded night here at the Sportatorium. You know about Erich Embry against Jerry the King with the specially hand-picked lumberjacks.
Jeff Jarrett, Jimmy Jack Funk, Billy Travis, and Kerry Von Erich.
But don't forget, gentlemen, Chris Adams against PY Chu Hi inside a cage with everyone barred from ringside. Tojo, Akbar, Toni, everybody.
That ought to be interesting to actually see who's who. Yeah, my arm's fine.
Akbar continuing.
A world tag title return as the new champions. The men you see in the ring right now is Sheik Scott Braddock and Rotten Ron Starr against the former champions Jeff Jarrett and an extremely mad Maniac Matt Boyne.
Girls on the card and much more this Friday night.
Box office opens at 9 o'clock. And of course, Metro Bowl 89. Gee whiz, we've been talking about that for weeks. Emerald City, NFL-style football. I thought you were going to have a little fight earlier in the show between the Bengals and the Ravens. Oh, Starr reversal in stride. But Ron Starr 2 steps ahead of young Alex Pourteau. Alex Pourteau has come a long, long ways in the ranks of professional wrestling, but he's got a long ways to come before he'll equal the ability and the... Ooh, look in there. I don't know when I've seen that. He'll come a long ways before he'll reach the ability and the tenacity and the skill of Rotten Ron Starr.
Frank, I don't envy the task that Billy Joe Travis has ahead of him here in a minute, having to go against the Punisher.
Boy, oh boy, what are you talking about? That Punisher, we saw him just for a brief moment a little earlier. 300-plus pound, 330, they tell me. Oh, gee willikers, I don't know. Travis, he has got his work cut out for him, all because he came to Erich Embry's aid. All because he came to Erich Embry's aid, helped him in the Battle Royal, helped him put the Punisher out in that big Battle Royal. Oh. Speaking of that Metro Bowl show, KZEW, the Zoo, is going to be a big part of that. We're proud to be working with those folks. That's one of the stations I listen to all the time in my car. So we'll have the folks from the Zoo out there as well.
Tony Fogg backing Ron Starr away. Al Clifton will get backed away now. Look out, Starr wants to take advantage. And Pourteau, who needs to tag, is just being held in the ring. Braddock with the charge in the clothesline. Alex Pourteau's been in this bout the whole time.
Now Clifton unable to get in. Pourteau, a credit to his ability. He's managed to stay in there. He's managed to hang in there and not get pinned against two very, very strong, very, very capable athletes, and Sheik, Scott Braddock, and Rotten Ron Starr. I heard that one club way over here,
Pourteau falls underneath and makes the tag.
Watch it, watch it, watch it. We got double the trouble now. Clifton, he doesn't need to be doing this. You leave him alone.
Akbar and Tojo are both over here now.
I see we've got your attention, Dusek. I want to go for it. Every time you go, every place you go.
In the ring, Starr back and forth, clotheslines Clifton off. Frank and Akbar and Tojo about to get into it. Pin in the ring, 1, 2, 3 on Al Clifton, and Starr and Braddock are winners again.
Sorry about the chair, Mark.
That's all right. So the winners of the match are Braddock.
Your winners, World Tag Team Champions, Sheik, Scott Braddock, and Rotten Ron Starr. Mark, you go interview those Yahoolies. I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Well, Akbar's already had enough TV time today, but your new World Tag Team Champions have won again.
Never before has Devastation Incorporated been so powerful. With the allegiance with Akbar and Yamamoto, never before in the history of this sport have two minds been together with such successful results. And the Honorable Tojo Yamamoto, with a team like Rotten Ron Starr, the junior heavyweight champion, and just because I said junior doesn't make him a junior. He's tenacious, he's diabolical, and Ron, we've been around together for a long time. Also, Sheik, Braddock.
That's right. You know, there's a lot of people going around talking about all the tough guys in Texas, talking about all the things that can't be done or can be done. You know, in this business, there's such things as legend makers, and then there's legend breakers. And you're looking at one right here. They said Scott Braddock and myself could never take those tag team belts. Well, we did it. Not only did we take them, we took them right in the middle of the ring, and on who? Your precious Maniac Matt Bourne. Well, I got news for you. Maniac, you ain't nothing to me, mister. I walked over a better man than you looking for a fight. I'm going to tell you something about Ron Starr. He don't mind getting beat. I just plain like to fight. Losing is not a word in my vocabulary. Now, I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about this great tag team. That's fine and dandy. Matt Bourne, I'm not going to take anything from you. As a tag team, you're great. You're great. But I got one question. How damn good are you in a singles match, Matt Bourne? You've been out here shooting your mouth off about Ron Starr and his capabilities. That's fine. Right here in front of a capacity crowd, I'm going to take you in the ring and kick the hell out of you right now. Matt Bourne, if you're half the man that you think you are, if you're a third of the man that these people think you are, you'll come in the ring with me right now.
Well, I guess he's going to stand over there and make this a formal challenge.
Well, you heard the man. You see, Rotten Ron Starr, he talks like the general, but he backs it up. Tojo, it's an honor to...
Here it comes.
It could well be a setup because we've got all of Devastation Incorporated out here. I wish Matt Bourne hadn't done this, but you know the Maniac because he's over top and all over Ron Starr. We've got Braddock on one side, Akbar, Yamamoto, Tony Falk in the ring. I guess this is an official match. The bell has been rung.
Frank, I hope this is not a setup by Akbar and company.
That's just what I was alluding to, Mark, before you put your headsets on. We've got all of Devastation. It is! Here he comes! It's Matt Bourne in the ring. Bourne 2-on-1. Bourne holding them both off. Maniac Matt Bourne holding them both off, Mark. It's Bourne 2-on-1. Maniac Matt Bourne all over top.
this 2-on-1, and now has to keep his eye on Tojo Yamamoto. Now Bourne has the chair that break through him, and now the bodies are really scooting out from under the ring. So Frank Disick may have saved the day to help Maniac Matt Bourne from that Akbar setup. Wow. Here comes another chair in the ring. As wound up as Matt is, let's see if we can capture a little bit of this. Devastation moving away slowly.
If you're listening to me, I want you to know that you don't have to walk over nobody to get to me. Everybody will step aside, and I'll be right smack in front of you. Friday night, baby, you want me? You don't have to look, because I'm looking for you.
The Maniac is back. We'll be back, too, in a minute.
Arcades and Industrial this Friday night, September 22nd, 8 o'clock is the bell time. World heavyweight title in the line, Lumberjack rules with 4 special Lumberjacks. Jeff Jarrett, Jimmy Jack Funk, Billy Joe Travis, and Kerry Von Erich will be Lumberjacks as flamboyant Erich Embry with Percy Pringle in his corner faces Jerry the King Lawler, all the marbles on the line. Inside a steel cage, everyone barred from ringside. Tojo, Akbar, Toni Adams, everybody as Gentleman Chris Adams takes on PY Chu Hi. Return for the World Tag Team titles as Jeff Jarrett and Maniac Matt Bourne, now the challengers, face the new champions Rotten Ron Starr and Sheik Scott Braddock. It's a bull rope match. Jimmy Jack Funk tied at the wrist by a bull rope. The gorgeous Gary Young, Frank Disick chained to General Skandor Akbar to ensure no interference. And girls, a girls street fight as Sweet Georgia Brown faces Naughty Natalie. For the complete card, call the USWA hotline 565-9261. Box office opens 9 o'clock Friday. The Corner Arcades and Industrial for the best of professional wrestling. USWA Professional Wrestling. This Friday, September 22nd, the Sportatorium, the Corner Arcades and Industrial. Lumberjack rules, world title on the line, steel cage, return for the tag belts, bull rope match. Don't you miss it. Be there. And from Lexington, Kentucky, 232 pounds, Billy Joe Travis.
Billy Joe Travis has just come down the aisle, and I want to call him over here to visit with him. But Frank just had a spill here at ringside. Forgive me for laughing. Come around here on the line, Billy Joe. Your timing was great just as Frank hit the deck. Billy Joe, I wanted to wish you luck and also express my concern about having to get in the ring with this Punisher. You know, it took 2 of you last night, Erich, Embry, and you, to dispose of the Punisher in that battle royal, and the way he came out here and wreaked havoc a moment ago, be careful with this guy.
You know, Mark, don't you think I can take care of myself?
Well, I hope so, but hey, he's tough.
Well, you know, I don't need Erich to help me. You know, I've been in this business 8 years. I think I can take care of myself. Erich's a good friend of mine, but I'm ready for the Punisher. He's big and bad, but let me tell you, I think I can beat the Punisher right here today.
All right. So much for that. Billy Joe Travis to go against the Punisher.
Skandor Akbar presents 6'8", 330 pounds from the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the Punisher.
The Punisher, regarded by some as Akbar's greatest find yet, has arrived.
Did you see him step over that top rope? Boy, I hope Travis has better luck with this match than I have so far.
Are you all right, Frank?
Any lesser man would have been hurt, you know.
Oh, man.
And here comes Erich Embry down. Erich Embry, Percy Pringle at his side. The Punisher against Embry last night. Percy yelling, no, no, no. Embry wanting a big piece of that Punisher. Billy Joe Travis in this match because of his assistance in the Battle Royal.
I think Erich says, let me take him on, Billy Joe, and Billy Joe is saying no. Percy trying to get on. Billy Joe is saying no. He seemed a little bit offended on the interview a minute ago, and now he is saying that he wants the Punisher himself. And Erich more or less says, okay, go for it. I hope Travis is not biting off more than he can chew. But Billy Joe says he wants him and he's going to get him.
Well, basically, you know, Travis in this match, as I said, because the Punisher, Embry, hot about Travis's assistance and putting him out of the Battle Royal last night. Erich Embry wanting a piece of him. Billy Joe Travis told him not to worry. He'd handle it. Holy smoly, he hit him with that big right hand, and all he did was shake his head. Same thing last night. You saw that big uppercut, right? He's knocked many a man off his feet with that. It just barely fazed this big Punisher.
Travis ducks away and delivers the right.
And look at here, he's still moving forward, Mark. The Punisher, he hasn't taken a backward step yet.
The huge Punisher locked up. Here's Travis throwing on the return. The leapfrog, surprise.
Oh, not down again. They hadn't knocked him off his feet yet. You know, maybe Travis should have taken up Embry's offer. I don't say that, though. Billy Joe Travis, a tough young man, a friend of Jeff Jarrett's. He's come here and he's ready to do battle, and he's not going to back down. He wouldn't back down normally. He's darn sure not going to back down here on KTVT, the Super Ones, Mark.
Referee stance, this excitement taped here this morning. You're invited to enjoy this TV taping every Saturday morning free from 10 until about 12 noon.
This address on your screen right now, as you see Billy Joe Travis all of a sudden in trouble. That address on your screen right now for the ring attendance contest. The deadline to send in your information, the deadline to send in your color picture and your name and address is this Friday night at midnight. It must be postmarked Friday night by midnight. We'll be making a decision very, very shortly. We want to thank the hundreds of people who've sent in cards and letters. Cross-body block into a press slam. 240 near pounds in a big press slam. And Travis, who had it going his way, suddenly is feeling the brunt of the giant Punisher. And this is what put Erich Embry down last night. Embry had to fight this last night. He had little more effect than this right now. Everything everybody seemed to have done so far has had little or no effect on this giant.
Big drive by the Punisher, who is just very, very impressive in my opinion. His size, his moves, his strength. You heard Erich say it's like getting hit with a sledgehammer.
You can imagine. You can well imagine. Harley Myers in our crowd. They had a heart attack, a fire in his home. We're glad to have him back with us. Everything's okay. Good luck, Harley.
You say his name right, the Punisher. You ever seen anything like this?
You know, this time maybe he's got him one.
Yeah, we can't dispute this.
Not since Kamala have we seen a man. Look at here to the top rope. Holy shades of the spoiler. Holy shades of the spoiler. Did you see that? I haven't seen anybody walk the rope since the spoiler.
Really? This guy is showing us new aspects of his arsenal with each match.
A man who can walk the rope, stands 6'8", weighs 330 pounds. My goodness, where does he find these people?
Billy Joe Travis down on his knees. Said he didn't want any help, any kind words, any kind thoughts. But so far, it's all Punisher.
Travis will be a big... I was just going to say a big part of that Palmer card, the cool kids, carrying out of love, Texas war on drugs, USWA apart. But right now, Billy Joe Travis, his work cut out for him, slammed on that arm hard. Punisher, I was talking about it earlier in the show, Mark. He has that spark, that's something that makes a great competitor into a champion. There's just something about him. And Travis unable to mount an offense as this big man just continues to plummet and pow.
Jimmy Jack Butt coming up, then Kerry and Bulba, big lead. Hey!
Oh, Embry with the board. Embry with the board. Punisher backing up now. He's backing up now as Erich Embry all over top of him. Travis said he didn't want the help. That'll be a disqualification. But the Punisher, Embry just plummeted him, and Punisher just taking it. He's just sitting there. He's taking the pummeling from that boy at Erich Embry and not backing down. Look out, Taurus Bulba. Bulba from behind, Mark. Embry with the board, and he's holding them both, but it doesn't look good at all as Travis still in the corner.
They're ganging up now. The board falls free. Akbar holding on to Travis, nailing him with the whip. Akbar nailed him.
Here comes Kerry. Here comes Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich all over top of him. Kerry Von Erich, Erich Embry, Billy Joe Travis. Bulba hits the corner. Erich all over top of the Punisher. Punisher. He just pushes him away as Punisher finally steps out of the ring. It's the Punisher just stepping out of the ring behind us. Bulba on the other side, and Akbar calling the troops to his side.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
As we're back, Mark, waiting on Jimmy Jack Funk, the music, the people in the aisles. I've got in front of me here this calendar. It's from the Cool Kids, Carrying Out of Love, Mark, in Palmer, Texas. That's part of the Texas War Against Drugs. It's a calendar put out by the Palmer High School kids. Grace Maxey, their instructor there. We're going to be at Palmer, Texas on Saturday, September 30th. The Cool Kids, Carrying Out of Love, as you see it right there. A great group working with the Texas War on Drugs. And the USWA, brother, that's one thing we support is America's youth and the war on drugs.
That's neat, Frank. Thank you. As music plays for Jimmy Jack Funk against Frogman LeBlanc, followed by our main event here tonight, Kerry von Erich against Taurus Bulba.
Jimmy Jack, of course, earlier, the arm against the pole. He hasn't come down the aisle yet. He said earlier he would wrestle no matter what, but the arm was swelling up like a balloon, so I don't know.
That was a
He should be here right now.
A wild mess we just saw in the ring involving the Punisher, Embry, Travis, Akbar, Bulba, Kerry.
And that's, remember now, this Friday night, it's Embry versus Lawler, world title on the line. 4 lumberjacks, including Billy Joe Travis, Kerry von Erich, Jeff Jarrett, and Jimmy Jack Funk. Adams, Chu Hi, steel cage. Bourne and Jarrett against Starr and Braddock will return for the world title. Whoa, 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 what's this? This is the man that hurt Funk earlier. I don't like the looks of this.
I don't either. Akbar with him, Akbar laughing.
Jimmy Jack Funk, his arm beat on this pole right here in front of us. You can still see the paint chips on the pole right here.
Now, what are you doing down here?
You know, it's real clear to me that we got us a yellow-bellied Texan with one arm running around here with his tail between his legs. It's evident to me, Jimmy Jack Funk, that you're not able to wrestle. You won't even come out and show your face no more, and all you got is Frogman LeBlanc. Well, I tell you what, boy, wherever you might be, it might be emergency room for all I know. I'll take the contract, I'll step up there, and I will wrestle your contract so that all these disappointed fans will get to see my pretty face one more time.
Akbar laughing, look at this.
Join the club, Percy. Join the club. You got a broken wing. Well, so has Funk. Yeah. I suggest you watch this match.
Well, I guess that gorgeous Gary Young is going to go against Frogman LeBlanc now as an arrogant Akbar laughs and celebrates.
Gorgeous Gary Young versus Frogman LeBlanc.
Jimmy Jack Funk has not returned after that chair on the arm against the post incident about an hour ago.
And I do not like the sounds of that at all, Mark. Jimmy Jack Funk not coming down the aisle. Young coming to replace him. Surely he's not Jimmy Jack Funk's choice.
Oh, you know he's not.
Oh, I'm worried about Funk now.
Back in the
surely the doctors have stopped him. He said he was going to compete, but I'm certain that the doctors have stopped him. As Young, this is going to be hard on LeBlanc, too, because he was set for Jimmy Jack Funk, and Young, a whole different type of wrestler. Yeah, you're real funny.
Akbar over here mocking this, wrapping his own arm around the post like they did.
You're just a regular Bob Hope, ain't you? Yeah, laugh a minute. That's you.
Here's a knee left by gorgeous Gary Young.
Make no mistake about it, Tusick. It's broken. I suggest you watch this match. Gorgeous Gary Young is on a roll. Devastation rules again. Too bad, Frank. By the way, how's your credit card? You maxed out again? Watch. Won't you out here scouting and taking some notes? Because someday, Frank, you're going to need it.
I don't need no notes. Take care of you.
I was going to ask you about you all being chained Friday night.
Yeah, ask him all he wants. That's what he's trying to do. I don't need no notes to take care of him. You can bet your bottom damn dollar on that.
Oh, to the big suplex. Frank Disick, master of the suplex, by the way.
Well, that was another era, brother.
Here's gorgeous Gary Young grabbing the Frogman. Look out.
Holy smoke, Frogman propelled out of that ring.
And Akbar over there making a bad situation worse.
That's Akbar's specialty, making bad situations worse, Mark. Yeah, that's a matter of fact. We're looking at Friday night now. We've talked about it a little bit. That world title on the line, ordered back one more time. Erich Embry, winner of the Battle Royal last week. And that's what that thing with the Punisher and Billy Joe Travis was all about, because Travis and Erich put the Punisher out of that Battle Royal. Will face Jerry the King Lawler. 4 special lumberjacks. Jeff Jarrett. Jimmy Jack Funk scheduled. I assume he'll be ready. I do not know. Billy Joe Travis and Kerry Von Erich.
Akbar over waving his arms in the air like he wants Funk down here.
I don't think he wants any part of Jimmy Jack Funk.
Gorgeous Gary making a mockery here of the Frogman.
Frogman's blows having little or no effect. What's he rapping about? I got my headsets on.
He's saying he wants Jimmy Jack and the All-American Texan.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you're real tough guy, ain't you?
Clothesline in the ring, Frogman down.
Hey, they're saving you a seat beside the Ayatollah Khomeini, brother. They got a bed right beside him for you. Don't worry about nothing. Jeez, I hate that guy.
Pile driver, looks like.
It is. It is. This will spell the end for the Cajun Frogman right here.
Gorgeous Gary saying hi, Mom, arrogantly taunting the crowd as he delivers the dirty blow.
What a cocky cover that is. Your winner, Gorgeous Gary Young.
Get him out of here.
Get them all out of here. Gee whiz.
Let's take a look at the places where USWA stars will be appearing this week. Then hold on, it's our main event.
Tomorrow, Traders Village in Grand Prairie, Maniac Matt Bourne will be at the USWA booth. That's tomorrow, Traders Village from 1 to 5. Maniac Matt Bourne at the USWA booth, Traders Village in Grand Prairie. The USWA #1 fundraiser comes to Bossier City, the Bossier City Civic Center, Sunday, October 22nd, 7 o'clock the bell time. Tickets on sale at all thrifty liquor stores. Tuesday, October 17th, Waco, Texas. For information, call 214-333-9925. Monday, October 16th, the USWA comes to Muldrow, Oklahoma, near Fort Smith, the high school football stadium sponsored by the Sequoia County Sheriff's Patrol. Call 405-775-6309 for ticket information. Oklahoma City, the Made in Oklahoma building. Sunday, October 15th, 7 o'clock on the fairgrounds. OK Ticketmaster outlets have your tickets. Call 948-6800. The USWA comes to Carthage, Texas, the #1 fundraiser. Saturday, October 14th. Thursday, October 12th, Altus, Oklahoma, the #1 fundraiser. Wednesday, October 11th, you folks in Brady, Texas, be watching for the USWA coming your way. Monday, October 9th, it's Sherman, Texas. The USWA #1 fundraiser comes your way. And Saturday night, October 7th, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. You folks in Lawton, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Saturday, October 7th, the USWA comes your way. That's the USWA Sunday, October 22nd, Bossier City, October 17th, Waco, October 16th, Muldrow, Oklahoma, near Fort Smith, October 15th, Oklahoma City, the 14th, Carthage, the 12th, Altus, the 11th, Brady, the 9th, Sherman, the 7th, Fort Sill, and don't forget, tomorrow, Traders Village in Grand Prairie, Maniac Matt Bourne will be at the Traders Village booth. That's Traders Village in Grand Prairie. Wherever USWA is, don't you miss it. Be there.
All right, we're back at the Sportatorium. Taurus Bulba has arrived with Skandor Akbar, and the modern-day warrior gets ready for his entrance.
Mark, the question on everybody's mind is how much damage was done to the hand of Kerry Von Erich. It's not in a cast, which tells me the hand must not be broken. But however, it is taped. So there's a couple of things here that we're all going to pay attention to. Number one, can Kerry withstand the claw of Bulba? And number two, how is the hand of Kerry Von Erich? You see it right over the shoulder of Bill Cobble security guard. From Denton County, Texas, 282 pounds, the modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich!
Kerry Von Erich has arrived here with Akbar in the ring again. Frank Disick chained to Skandor Akbar Friday night here in a big match between Gary Young and Jimmy Jack Funk, and Kerry's ready to go with a hand taped, not broken, but certainly injured.
That's providing, of course, Jimmy Jack Funk's arm isn't broken. I mean, now it was just assaulted by that chair. You can see, well, they don't have the cameras on us now, but the poles have got big chip paint marks all over it where the corner of that chair was hitting it, and they were beating on the arm of Funk.
Kerry ready to go against Bulba. They've had trouble with the Mongolian claw against the Iron Claw.
Did you see the tape on the hand? It'll be very interesting to see, number one, can Von Erich defend against the Mongolian claw? And number two, what is the status of the hand as Von Erich goes immediately to the leg, showing a change in strategy, Mark. Before, Kerry has fought toe-to-toe, beating on him, pounding on him, fighting Bulba's style. First thing Von Erich does, he sweeps in, scoops a single leg heel, pick up, down the man goes, drops an elbow, and he's back out before there's any chance for any damage. Von Erich showing a little wrestling there. That might be the way to take on a man like Taurus Bulba, the wrestling, to confuse him with wrestling. Once again, a single leg scoop, and again an elbow drop down. And Bulba, one more time, grabbing for Von Erich, unable to do so. Frustrate the big man, Mark. That might be the secret to beating him right there.
It might be, as Kerry moves in more scientifically this week against Taurus Bulba, as Frank has alluded. Friday night is a big one in Dallas. Don't miss it. Don't forget Metro Bowl next Saturday night. Big card in South Grand Prairie on Tuesday the 26th. So the USWA is busy here this September.
And of course, Palmer, don't forget them, the cool kids carrying out of love.
And look for that big poster of Kerry in the Abilene paper
Yes,
Monday.
Sir. Watch his back there, Kerry. He's in that corner where Akbar is. You've got to be careful of that Akbar. Got to be cognizant of his position at all times.
Kerry Von Erich looking fantastic. He's been working hard all through the summer, now into the fall. He's looking great. And Bulba, the weird individual, the fiend from Mongolia, always a tough one to prepare for.
Well, even a bear has natural wrestling abilities, as Bulba was able to block it last time. This time, though, Kerry a little bit quicker. No, into the corner, and Bulba, a full-fledged assault, a full frontal assault all over top of Von Erich. Scientific wrestling has gone out the window, as all of a sudden, Taurus Bulba, the animal from Mongolia, has unleashed a flurry on Kerry Von Erich. And it's Von Erich pounding back, firing back, Mark. The scientific wrestling has gone out the window all of a sudden.
Kerry on that arm, twisting, turning the wrist and arm as Akbar begins to pace a bit.
And as the legendary Cubs announcer Harry Kerry would say, holy cow, look at the excitement here.
Hey, the Cubs are in the pennant race this year with Harry.
I don't think we need to talk baseball here in Texas.
Well, you started it.
Not pennant races.
That's the truth. This not on Channel 11.
Von Erich backing him into the corner.
Back in the corner it is as Kerry, the red-tided warrior, grabs him, going to pull him out and over.
And Kerry does have a game plan, as you see. Whoa, I thought it was a head scissor. Instead, it's a cross-body block. Bulba able to slip out underneath. Watch your back. Kerry showing that fist and fire, but then going right back to his game plan, which looks to me like it's going to be wrestling, Mark. It looks like he's going to try to take it to him with scientific style, and maybe that's what he needs to change the strategy, because you know Akbar has Bulba prepared for a battle, for a war, but he does not have him prepared for a wrestling match, and that may be the whole strategy. This may be one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? One of the genius moves of the day right here, changing the entire strategy. I mean, it's like that's like fighting right-handed halfway through a fight and switching left-handed in the last round. I mean, in a boxing match, Von Erich has just changed his entire strategy.
Kerry out on the floor. He's had a little much of Akbar's mouth. Bulba heads him off at the pass, though.
Bulba very protective of General Skandor Akbar. Akbar giving Bulba everything he needs, a place to live, a shelter over his head, and lots of raw meat.
Kerry and Bulba into it on the floor.
He rushed it. He's got the claw. They're outside the ring, but he's got a claw on him right there. It's Von Erich with the claw. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, did you see that? He just brushed it off.
I'm stunned. He just knocked it off like a fly, bothering you in the summertime.
And the claw was hooked, too. There was no question. Kerry holding the hand still. That may answer our question about the hand right there. Von Erich threw the claw on. He had it solid, had it for a full 10 seconds. And like a man swatting a fly, Taurus Bulba just swatted the claw off. And you see Von Erich, the hand, you can see the pain on his face. It is not healthy.
Frank, you're absolutely right. That does illustrate that hand is not what it should be.
Oh, and Kerry needs to be careful of those punches. What is that going to do to the discus punch, his other main offensive weapon?
Kerry fighting the floor, tries the iron claw again. Let's see what happens.
Once again, outside the ring, though, there'll be no pin here. Von Erich, the claw solidly in place. Solidly in place.
The claw is finished.
He may be right. I hate to admit it.
No strength on that right hand. The iron claw is finished.
Von Erich, you can see the pain in the hand, unable to hold it. That's the first time I've ever seen it. I mean, Kerry has got, if anything, he's stronger than Fritz ever dreamed of being. I mean, and Fritz was truly the master, but Kerry may possess more sheer physical strength than even Fritz Von Erich. And if that's the case, then there definitely is an injury to the hand because he just swatted that thing off like it was nobody.
Akbar loving it. He's had a great night here.
Kerry, you see him rubbing the hand, shaking it, trying to get the circulation in. Obviously, there's a problem here.
Kerry back up on the apron, moving in slowly. Shoulder buddies back in the ring.
Von Erich adjusts his punch. A second, a third, and down goes the big Mongolian, but immediately back on his feet. I don't think he knows where he is, but he's back on his feet. Credit given to Taurus Bulba. He's taking everything Von Erich's got to give him and continues to get back to his feet.
Kerry with the drive from the right's going to back him into the rope. The pull, the throw, the rebound.
Clothesline. And Bulba not so quick to his feet now. Von Erich looks like he might be going for it again. The claw. Or is he thinking better of it? He's going for it. There it is. There's the claw. He slapped it on again. Let's see if he can hold it this time. Maybe two hands. Bulba with a claw of his own now. It's claw versus claw.
A standoff here. Mongolian claw against iron claw. Kerry Von Erich and Taurus Bulba. Kerry's claws appear to be weaker due to the injured hand.
Kerry, if anybody's got the tenacity, he's got to reach down in his heart and his soul right now. He can't turn loose, Mark. He has to reach down and pull everything he's got. Every bit of Von Erich courage, every bit of Von Erich tenacity. Right now, he's hanging on for all he's worth, Mark. Kerry hanging on to that claw, trying to pull the hand of Bulba away. Who's going to be the one to fall? Who's going to be the first to go to his knees? Two proud champions, two bulls in the ring. And Bulba appears to be weakening. Taurus Bulba. Bulba's claws off. Von Erich has won. The claw. The iron claw, Mark. The iron claw has stood pat.
Crowd going bananas here. Akbar is worried, but look out.
Oh no, the Punisher. The Punisher. 6'8", 340 pounds, 330 pounds. All of a sudden, the Von Erich claw negated by the addition of another Akbarian. They're going to work on the hand.
Yes,
that's the hand, Mark.
He's focusing all his attention on that hand.
And now here comes Bulba. They're working on the hand. If they didn't break it last week, they're going to break it this week. Oh, no. No, no, no. A double slam. Now they're laying out the hand. They're laying out the hand. Oh, no. Crushing it. Pounding on it. 330-plus pounds. Pounding on the hand. Oh, no. Taking their time, holding it out. Kerry pinned to the mat by the big man.
A Bulba headbutt. Bulba leaping down with these headbutts as the Punisher holds the hand out.
And Von Erich, spread eagle, unable to defend himself. Here come the troops. Here come the troops. Moore and Travis, they're in the ring. Von Erich in serious trouble as here they come. We have got a melee. Kerry Von Erich down in the middle of the ring.
Saturday night bedlam once again here. What a mess. It's still not stopped.
And this is incredible. You just got a melee in the ring. Mark, we need to get control of this situation. This is unbelievable. No, no, no. PY Chu Hi has come in. It's Chu Hi coming down the aisle. Oh, no, the advantage goes. The advantage goes to Devastation.
Chu Hi immediately moves in on Maniac Board. Kerry back.
Von Erich coming back. The hand hurt. Von Erich gamely fighting. Fighting with only the one hand. And now it's Chu Hi. Chris Adams. Adams seeing Chu Hi. Here he comes. Here he comes. It's Adams into the ring, armed with a chair. It's Adams, Chu Hi, Punisher, Travis, Bulba, Von Erich, Mark. We got to get control. Mark, let's go to commercial break. We'll be back with more wrestling excitement here on KTV The Super Ones right after this. Oh, Chris Adams all over top of him.
USWA has something in store for you that's going to be the highlight of this great year of 1989. It's already been a great year with USWA coming in, but the best is yet to come. Let's take a sneak preview of what I'm talking about.
You show us everything you've got. You keep on dancing and us wild will drive you crazy. You say you want to go with crazy.
Guitar in my hand, by the time I could talk, I had my own band. I went on the road when I was 8 years old. When I turned 15, I was stealing the show. Money to burn and the girls are pretty. It didn't take me long to learn that I was born to boogie.
And Frank Disick back at a frenzied sportatorium. Fans still making noise. The bedlam has just ceased, and Frank, we're concerned at this point about Kerry's hand.
Well, Mark, never before have I seen anybody knock the claw away like he was batting the fly. So obviously, Kerry Von Erich's hand is not, excuse me while I keep looking over my shoulder, obviously Kerry Von Erich's hand is not 100%. He batted that claw away like it was nothing. Not once, but twice. And to do that twice indicates that there is a serious problem with the hand. Now they've gone after the hand again. I don't know how much more damage has been done. We'll get Kerry back as soon as this TV show is over and find out how bad the hand really is.
A big week coming up. Friday night at the Sportatorium right here, a big card Metro Bowl on Saturday. So don't miss any of that excitement. Been a pleasure being with you. Be sure and tune in next week. Frank, I'll let you say goodbye and close out anything.
The thing I do want to say is all you wrestling fans, if you ever wanted to see Skandor Akbar in a bloody mess, you show up Friday night because he's going to be chained to Captain Frank Disick. And I got an arm in a scar about 6 inches long right here that you'll see. And come Friday night, Akbar, I'm paying you back for that.
This has been Championship Sports, coming to you from the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. Pre-recorded professional matches sanctioned by World Class Wrestling. Join us again next Saturday for more exciting matches on Championship Sports.